Welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome. Let me welcome you and just say hello, give you a nice, warm, friendly greeting, a nice welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome. Of course, it is Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more, at least we endeavor to. Sometimes we come up a little bit short, but we try to stay in your good graces with a little bit of well-placed humor and levity just to help get you through your horrible day, your horrible life, your horrible existence. I know most of you are ugly, broke, fat, really no hope for the future, no reason to get out of bed in the morning, but we welcome you here. We welcome you to our audience, and we say welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, it is Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. My hair looks extra fruity today. Extra fruity. I don't mean anything untoward, but I know people will be like, "Oh, that's like it's not what you think." It just curls a certain way. Welcome and hello and welcome, guys. I want to basically give you guys a lesson because people are like, how do you know certain things? Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody can predict the future because market makers are always inventing new ways to take our money. But I've developed a theory. It kind of goes hand in hand with the Tebadaki method, which is the first trading system specifically developed for plus-size gentlemen, portly, chunky stock monkeys such as myself, gentlemen of generous proportions, and basically we have to trade a certain way, throw our weight around, and this goes hand in hand with that, the Douchebagorean Theorem. This is kind of a group of people who they're both big players and smaller hedge funds. They sometimes work together, they sometimes work against each other, but it's characterized by Armani suits, a lot of Peruvian wham wham, a lot of bluster, a lot of haircuts. It's like these guys mostly live in Connecticut. They work in New York City. Now, a lot of them, work in Miami. And, these are the guys, though. These are the guys who are grinding and shorting these stocks. And how does this basically work? I mean, people have always said, you're way too focused on shorting and borrowing, and the fact that you think that market makers control these stocks on a day-to-day basis to the penny, how the trading goes, you're completely out to lunch. The fact that you think they can accumulate shares while trading a stock at a 3-degree down bubble is absurd. That's impossible. If the stock's going down, that means it's selling. Like, people who say this stuff just have absolutely no idea how the market works. Let me Dan-splain to you how this actually goes. Now, look at SoFi. SoFi made its move right here in October, and just keep that in mind when I explain what I'm talking about, how the mechanics. People keep asking me, how do you know that it's going to move? How do you know when it's going to move? How do you know which stocks to buy off the lows and which stocks are low because they're just cabbage, because they're garbage, because they're not going to go back up, because they're low because they deserve to be low, and they're going to go out of business, or they're just going to go on losing money and fleecing new investors and stuff like that? The way I know it is looking at volume, borrowing, not just institutional ownership, but which institutions are shorting when they give up that short. The lows are very important. When it stops making lower lows and shifts, like I said, to that horizontal lows, there's accumulation going on. But let me just show you with some examples. So, people don't think I'm absolutely crazy. So I'm just because these are the stocks I tend to carry on about, I'm just going to give, but I could show you this with just about any stock that's been ground down from the, pandemic euphoria. So this is SoFi. This is SMCI. Now with SMCI, this is so young because of the AI boom. Instead of looking at a 5-year time chart, I'm going to look at a 1-year chart, but it works very much the same way. And you guys will see that. Let's take a look at CRISPR. Another stock that has been through the same ringer, and then let's take a look at NEO. So starting with NEO, this came down off the highs in January 21. It was like high 60s, and they grounded all the way down to the 3s. In terms of CRISPR, again, January 2021, the high was around $220, and they've grounded all the way down into the 30s. It was just I think just 36. In fact, the other day with SMCI, the highs were in the low 120s. And as you know, they took it all the way down to 18 here. And it's stabilized and found a ton of support at 30. Now with SoFi, this was almost 30. It was like 28. And then over here, this one topped out, I think 25. They took it all the way down. I think high threes, low four, whatever it was. I can't remember. I've repressed those memories and then worked it down, and then it exploded right here. So let me just tell you why I think borrowing is indicative of when they're going to flip these things. So if you take a look at what these stocks have in common, these three stocks that are still at the bottom of this, grindhouse of horrors where they've just been taken down, like in NEO's probably the most extreme example, going from damn near 70 down to the threes. I mean, that's pretty scary. It should have never been that high in the first place. And SoFi shouldn't have been, $30 4 or 5 years ago either, but it should have also never been 4. So that's what you have to look for. Find quality and find the ones that the shorts and market, look for the usual suspects. Look for Wolverine, look for Citadel, look for Jane Street, look for Goldman. These are the ones who flip and then short. They short quality, and it's the same companies that are, everybody wants it low. That's what is so misunderstood. It's not the institutional ownership. The institutional ownership will increase as the price is going down toward the bottom, because they buy low. They don't buy on emotion. They don't buy on ego. They don't buy because, they wish they had a bigger willy. They're trying to make money. It's like Kanish, why he's rounding. He's like, I don't play for fun, man. I play for child support. It's like, that's why he plays. Like, that's why he's rounding. It's not some kind of game. He can't give you money. He's happy to give you the ice cream truck. Can't give you money. Not this time. Wants to know what it was like sitting with Johnny Chan, but he's not going to give you the money. Just the way it goes. When you're dealing with Kanish, again, a guy who has those color change sunglasses, those transition lenses. Of course, if you're a fan of the movie Rounders, you're a degenerate gambler like myself. Used to play a lot of poker back in the day. With mixed results, but such is life. So what do you notice right away with SMCI? Okay, short interest of the free float, 16%, short interest, but look at the shares on loan. It's much, much higher. So 80 million short, 134 million on loan. Why? To control the price. Look at NEO. Okay, 12% short interest, 161 million shares short, 412 million shares on loan. Explain to me why. Look at CRISPR, 23% of the free float short, huge short on this stock. Insane. This stock is so absurdly undervalued. I'm buying all the shares I can. But short interest, 19 million, shares on loan, 25 million. So that's like a whole nother 30% on top. And this, again, is not a penny stock. It's like a $4 billion market cap. And lest you forget, they have $2 billion in cash and no debt. And just their Vertex pipeline is worth at least $1 billion. At least. You fools. Oh, I hate you guys. Hey, let's chase NVIDIA. Maybe I should buy some more Palantir at 80. Maybe you're a dumb asshole. I'm a bit of a pear shape, okay? Ma'am, I'm going to need to see your license, registration, and insurance. You just blew through this school zone going 80 miles an hour. Listen, I don't have time for this. I'm on a cell phone, okay? I'm a bit of a pear shape. When I had my first kid, I cut my hair real short, okay? Gained about 60 pounds. You have a problem with it, officer? I'm on a cell phone here. It's like, well, that's a crime as well. All right, I'm going to let this one go. It's giving me a horrible migraine. All right, okay. We're clear. I'm going to need to also speak with your supervisor. I'm going to make a complaint against you. Well, you broke like 40 laws, and I'm letting you go with no consequence. Exactly. Inconvenienced me. Oh, stock Karen. Driving through town in a minivan, causing havoc. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Short interest, borrowing, and all that fun stuff. Now, here's the payoff, guys. Just again, keep in mind what I told you before. SoFi is one of the greatest examples. This stock was controlled absolutely to the ticks, like minute by minute. And I used to go through this with you guys, you diehard un poco mas losers, you bottom feeders, you bleacher sniffers, you shine box all stars, you truck stop restroom warriors. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but this is a great example because they ground this thing down twice. I mean, this time for a year and then this time for another 14 months. So they had 2.5 years. That's like a sentence for grand larceny or something. You get like, 4 to 6, but you do 2.5 with good behavior, or so I'm told. So then when does it flip though? When do market makers really flip this thing and it just starts going bonkers? It's right at the beginning of Rocktober. And then what happens to the short interest? Right at the beginning of Rocktober, or the borrowing, excuse me. It's just, it completely goes the opposite of what all these other stocks are doing. If you remember, shares on loan for SoFi just in October 31st, and remember, there's a bit of a lag in this data, so it actually corresponds to price action, I would bet almost perfectly. So 30th of October, there's 172 million shares on loan. Now you see the stock make this huge move, and how many shares are on loan right now? 83 million, and it went all the way down below 70 million shares on loan. So this completely reverses. When they grind it down lower and lower and lower to the bottom, you see, this is just my experience. I could be completely out to lunch. I could be seeing things that aren't there. But I'm not, because I can show you this just countless examples of this. So this reversed. They were, shorting 140 and borrowing, 250, and now they're shorting less, but they're borrowing, a third of the shares, or less than half the shares they were just borrowing a few months ago. It moves with the stock. These market makers move the stock. It's not because market makers come into the stock, then it moves. They move the stock. They fix the price. They rig the bid and the ask. It's the same people that have been selling the shares. That's what churn is. That's what churn is. And you say, how do they make money that way? It has to cost money. Because the borrowing fees are always zero, because institutions, as they get more market share, they have all these shares sitting there, which are doing them no good. They're just waiting for the pump, or they're waiting for a long-term hold, or they're waiting to exhale, or they're waiting for Guffman. Waiting on the phone. Oh, Soul Asylum, Grave Dancers Union. What a great record. Why don't you guys put down in the comments one of your favorite records from the 80s? That would be fun. You guys probably have horrible taste. You're horrible stock pickers. Oh, I hate you guys. I hate you so much. Why is my hairline receding so quickly? Why is my forehead so shiny? These eternal questions, like sands through the hourglass. My balls are getting lower and lower by the year. It's most unfortunate. Deep thoughts with Jack Handy. My balls continue to get lower. Do I need different underwear or just higher socks? Guys, I want to try to work new material. Ooh, Def Leppard for Not a Lurker. That's, yeah. There's, I mean, you can't go wrong with some Def Leppard. What was that big record, Hysteria? Yeah, great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. What rock band has a drummer with one arm? And that guy kills it. It's one of the most interesting aspects of Def Leppard. Anyway, what a great, it's amazing because, like, you and I, well, not you necessarily, but you just have so many excuses. Guy goes out and plays giant stadium rock shows, a drummer, one arm. The main thing you need in drumming is your arms. This goes to show you there are no excuses. There are no valid excuses in life. There are no valid excuses in life. You holding yourself back. It's like these sea suckers just they borrow so many. I mean, you see, Neo is an extreme example. And how do you judge this? Look at the disparity here: 161 versus 411. It's 2.6 times as many shares, roughly. And then look at which one has fallen the furthest. I mean, 70-3 or 70-4. Sounds like the score of a really lopsided high school girls basketball game. Some like private academy is just spending tons of money going up against like some public school. Some of these scores, don't they have a mercy rule? And the Ladera Magnet Academy has defeated Trounston 68-2. Good game, though. Really competitive on the boards. I used to listen to this guy, the coach, John Quintera, when I was going to school. He like, just the McFly was down watching high school. I was down watching the girls JV game. This guy was just so passionate about sports and basketball. It didn't matter if it was like NBA level or like, you know, junior high school girls. The guy just had a passion. I love the coach. He's just an example of a great radio personality with a speech impediment. Again, no excuses, guys. There are no excuses. Maybe you're saying, hey, I'm fat. I'm not that smart. I have a bad knee. My ankle hurts. I can't sleep very good. I drink too much coffee. Developing horrible crow's feet. Aging poorly. I need Botox. I'm a huge Karen. I complain about everything. I'm not sure where I was going with any of that, guys. Maybe you don't say any of that stuff. Maybe you do. Asking for a friend. Anyway, I shorted SMCI and made a ton. I haven't bought it. That's funny. I went long SMCI at 19. I made a ton. One or both of us is telling the truth. I'm not sure. Yeah, son, all my money is in SoFi, funded from shorting DJT. Where did you mean you shorted SMCI from 120 or you shorted it from 48? Or when did you put all your money into SoFi? I mean, I don't know. Okay, JS. I mean, I'm happy for you. If you're making money, I'm happy for you. You got tension is high with SMCI because the ER that is not officially. Oh, yes. We all realize they didn't file. Yes, that's the last. Ernst & Young resignation, the non-filing, the Hindenburg report, the Justice Department investigation. You see the people who own that company are actually my aunt and uncle, Aunt Chucky and Uncle Chucky and Aunt Sarah. And they told me over Thanksgiving dinner not to worry about it. We do family parties. They had this. They started a foundation. It was supposed to be to protect wealthy trees from chainsaws and developers, but it turned out they were not able to find enough wealthy trees to protect, and they ended up building a vineyard. And my Uncle Chucky's caught a lot of flack for it, but he likes good wine. Is it a crime to like fine wine and bilk a charity out of money that was supposed to go to protect the environment, just use it to build yourself fucking winery or a vineyard or whatever? Is that a crime? Yeah, okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm of two minds. Guy went to his therapist. He said, "Doctor, I'm having the weirdest dream." I said, "Okay, tell me what you're dreaming." He said, "Well, one night I dream I'm a teepee, and the next night I dream I'm a wigwam. And the next night I dream I'm a teepee again. The next night I dream I'm a wigwam." And the doctor says, "Hey, I know what's wrong. You're too tense." Anyway, guys, hello. Very few jokes, even worse than that. One of my favorite bad jokes, though. I think that was on that Dr. Katz show, which I love that guy. He's a funny comedian, therapist comedian. He had a cartoon. Some of you may have seen it. It's fantastic. What does it say about me that a lot of my favorite shows are animated? Does it say I'm a big idiot? I'm an overgrown child? I don't know. But anyway, guys, this is just, people are asking me, how do you spot this stuff? How do you know when it's going to flip? Not only look at the institutions, look at what the shorts are doing, look at what the volume's doing, but just look at the borrowing and the shorting. It's not, they'll let up on the short and the borrowing will crash. They'll all go long and they'll push it up. What happened with SoFi? The thing damn near, tripled overnight. Neo has a much bigger move to make. CRISPR, it just makes no sense. Like 2 billion cash pipeline already approved with Vertex, no debt. I mean, the CEO at one point's like, yeah, this company should be trading like 160 plus. The CEO is a very smart guy. Everybody now is on the bandwagon with in vivo, gene editing. That's the future. But what about the next 20 years? When is in vivo, really going to take hold? It's a lot more sort of, people view it as like a wild card. The science is harder. It's a lot riskier. The things going on inside the body. And there's no indication that CRISPR at some point couldn't, transition from ex vivo to in vivo. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. Big idiot. So yeah, I mean, all these stocks, like, SoFi earnings, this was the last day before earnings, is kind of, it was a weird day. Again, algo working this down bubble. I would guess this involved a certain amount of accumulation, but also, it's a grind. You see, a lot of volume right there at the end, big green candles, still selling off here, but it looked like they were just controlling the price. Not sure like why. I don't love that close. I don't love that close, but it's not horrible. This is not, the day you will, but let's face it. I mean, SoFi, everybody's like, well, Palantir is trading at this valuation, my, front and center, the chunky stock monkey, guilty as charged. But just because Palantir is grossly overvalued, in my opinion, doesn't mean that SoFi will become equally overvalued. SoFi does not have nearly the hype, the je ne sais quoi of a Palantir or even a Robinhood. I mean, it's just not getting those type of multiples. Like, well, if it starts getting that tech multiple, SoFi could easily be 35, 40. It could. But they love to sell this thing off at the ER. They absolutely love it. It has to be spectacular. It has to be absolutely spectacular to make a move up, from 18 to like, 23, 24. They need to have a really, really strong growth forecast. But I think they can do it. I mean, I think they can do it. Looking at SMCI, this was a really crazy day. I mean, this volatility, first, the stock is just pumping from 34.30 down to, 33.60. And then it's just bouncing from, 34.70 all the way down to 34, then breaks down 33.94 back to... This is just insane. You see this extreme. This is not even a shark tooth. This is like a EKG, somebody on meth, and their heart stops and it's back again, and they crash. You got to get a crash card, and then, this is just insane price action. And then huge buying coming in at the end of the day. And if you notice, they're basically holding it, exactly where the algo was holding it on Wednesday and Thursday. There is no chance to this. The price is fixed until they want it to move. That's what I was trying to explain the other day between stocks that trade on fundamentals, real analyst coverage, real institutional money in the stock, and then these trading stocks. And they're characterized by the fact, as they grind them down, they're pre-profit. I mean, look at all of these. The only exception that doesn't make any sense being super micro, because they have all this, scandal, whether it's manufactured or real. I mean, it's certainly real, but you just have to believe how much of it is smoke and how much of it is fire. Once bitten, twice shy. Bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. All that fun stuff. So yeah, this is a completely different case because this company is profitable. It is growing. Most of these are characterized by fairly significant growth. Of course, SoFi, one of the fastest growing public companies last 5 years in existence. But just watch when these turn. These will, in my opinion, all these stocks will turn, all three of them, Supermicro, Neo, and CRISPR. And when they do, watch that borrowing absolutely plummet, and watch that relationship between shorting and borrowing do the inverse of what it's been doing, exactly what SoFi did. And it's going to be the exact same players that do it. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. You'll see some of the smarter shorts like Citadel is already, changing. long to short. They start to get ahead of it. The competitive eating guy, top 10 financial in the world, the trend is your friend until it starts to bend. I like that phrase. It works both ways. The hockey stick goes low. Remember, whenever you're trying to hit somebody in the nuts with a hockey stick, aim low. That's where the nuts are. Same thing with a nut kick. Anything. Any type of aggressive, furtive action directed at the testicles, you want to be low. You want to be compact. You want to be low. You want to throw combinations. Don't assume you got them both. Got to confirm. I need confirmation. Like, oh, you're doubled over vomiting? All right. That's confirmation. All right. I don't know how every one of my shows devolves into talk about getting kicked in the nuts, but, that's the type of highbrow analysis you've come to expect on Un Poco a Mas, because that's the little bit more we give you is that kick in the nuts we do just before we send you on your way. No, if you want to not be a complete idiot, if you don't just want to buy some risky turd of a company or so, that's like SoFi, should you buy it at 18 ahead? I would say no. I mean, I'm not a buy, I'm not a sell, but Payush is the guy. He loads SoFi every day of the week. It doesn't matter. But I'm not rushing into, but I would personally rather buy Neo at 4 than SoFi at 18. I would rather buy Supermicro at 30 than SoFi at 18. It's not to say I hate SoFi at 18. It's just, these are just 3 examples of stocks that are just, in my opinion, absurdly under. CRISPR should be double this price at least, maybe triple. I think Neo should be 2.5, 3 times this price. SMCI at least double this price, potentially triple. If there were no counting difficulties, it'd probably triple this price right now. Easily. The growth is there. Everybody's saying, oh, they're going to lose, market. HP Enterprise has barely any of the, GPU AI data center market. They're a bit player, and SMCI is still quite a bit bigger than Dell. Remember Gateway? They used to send out those computers, those cow boxes. If you're making payments for about 48 months. Trying to download something with a free AOL CD. Dial up. Probably half my audience is still on dial up. You guys suck. I hate you guys. What's up, Steve? Steve is the anti-Steve. What's up, Not a Lurker? My brother from another mother, my bald brother, the great Not a Lurker, the great J Money. We got Phoenix 112, a highbrow kick in the nuts that is similar to a kumquat between the toes. Getting in very dangerous territory there, talking about a kumquat. John Bon Jovi, you're also loaded up on SoFi. That affects your decision. You loaded up at 14. Yeah, I loaded up 1382 or something like that. Yeah, quite a few. I mean, I wouldn't say loaded because I have an absurd number of shares. My average going in below that was in the 5s. So I was buying real heavy in the 4s. I was selling blood, semen, and everything else I owned, trying to acquire those shares in the 4s. That's what really got me into U-turning, honestly, was just SoFi should not be in the 4s. And they gave you so many chances to buy that thing. Worked it down into the 6s so many times. I mean, these slow ball, these slow pitch market makers were just shorting the bejesus out of the stock from 680 to 720. I was like, what are these guys doing? Oh yeah, it's not their money and they're stupid. I mean, do you really look at Anthony Noto and think he's the chump in the room after his career? You think he's just setting this thing up to fail? His hair is too good to fail. That hair don't fail. That hair doesn't, say, hey, we went bankrupt. That hair says we're going to become a top 10 financial institution in this country. Better get out of our way. Get out of our way, Affirm. Get out of our way, Robinhood. Get out of our way, Upstart. Get out of our way, Ally Bank. You freaking turds. Anyway, guys, I guess that's about all I've got for today. I just wanted to, get on and go over the Douchebagorean Theorem. Very important concept in mathematics. You take, cocaine habit, you want to short sell, you got, knock off Armani suits, you got down at the, 5-for-1 down at the Jollywood Suit Outlet or whatever it is. Hello, my name is what? It's so funny in LA, like owners who do their own commercials. You'll get 4 suits. I got cummerbund this. I'm like, dude, what are you even talking about? All I can understand is I'm getting some amount of suits for some amount of money. Get down here. We give you 5 ties, 5 pair of socks. We wash your car. Come on. I'll shave your back for free. Take my wife, please. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know sometime. Sometime I think I'm okay. Sometime I think I'm criminally insane. Sometime I think I'm making good stock picks. Sometime I think I'm a total idiot. Sometimes I hate you guys. And then the rest of the time, I also hate you guys. So anyway, I know this has been a complete waste of time, but I think people like, this is too simplistic. This doesn't work. This couldn't be indicative of how market makers control the stock market and take our money all the time. And I'm telling you, it is this simple. I know there's a ton of things going on behind the scenes, level 2, level 3, level 4, derivatives, options, and you have to understand that to understand how they take your money, how they structure it. But the bottom line is, as long as you are willing to sell the dip and smell the rip, they're going to take your money, and they're going to do it a bunch of different ways. They're not just going to take your money. They're going to structure a bunch of trades to take your money and leverage it 10 different times. Like I said, deliver that nut shot to you and send you home to the missus broke and groveling. What happened to your toupee, Lenny? I pawned it. I didn't even know you could pawn a toupee. It's very resourceful of you. Thank you, dear. She's used to it. Pawned his fillings last year. Pawned his toupee this year. Trying to figure out how to pawn a testicle. Perhaps Low Country Loot and Pawn could help us out. Gonna need a surgeon and a pawnbroker. Or if you happen to have a surgeon who's also a pawnbroker, so it's Low Country Loot and Pawn, you're in business. Pawn a testicle today. Come on in, pawn a testicle, get a free gun. They're doing that throughout the South. Oh, Texas, they were doing a thing where you pawn something, you get a free gun. It's the people who are in need of a pawnbroker service, not always necessarily people you just want to give a weapon to, like an unregistered ghost gun. Hey, free ghost guns with any purchase. Any fried chicken purchase. Oh my God. What am I talking about, guys? I have no idea. I don't even know what this video was supposed to be about. Usually I at least come in with something I intended to talk about before I go off the rails. This video, concerning the Douchebagorean theorem, was kind of doomed from the start. But, yeah, I'm writing a book called How to Pawn a Testicle for Dummies. It's from the authors of 50 Miles to the Outhouse, written by Willie Make It, illustrated by Betty Won't. MFA closed today. Michael Anthony, my favorite svelte Latino pop star, is pumping MFA, his favorite REIT or whatever it is. It's closed today at 10:18 with the highs of 10:32 and after hours 10:31, now 10:18. Somebody's controlling that one pretty good. DD, I got 3 testicles. Chris has a 3rd testicle, you lucky dog. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got today. Premium of the option. Got to wear a nut bra and cup on today. Yeah, I mean, I hope that wasn't a man boob joke. Like you said, there's only a few places you're free to man boob it. Down the American South, where I'm actually considered thin because I'm only about 100 pounds overweight. And then Hawaii. Just there's so many awesome big dudes in Hawaii. It's not like these puritanical, got to wear a shirt in the pool. Just man boob it. You're on vacation. Straight man boobing. What are you doing, dear? I'm going to put some zinc oxide on my nose. Just man boob it down by the pool. Maybe have a mocktail. Okay, dear. I'm going to be avoiding you in the lobby. Excellent. 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 Um, anyway, guys, I once again apologize for the content of this show. I don't know what to tell you. If you watch, it's your own fault. The big P, the big Payush. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Moon Monday. I hope so, Payush. I hope so. Guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Not a lurker, Alberto Berdiavales, our intrepid moderators. I don't think Alberto's here. Again, I don't think that nephew we gave a wrench to even exists. I want to thank the great Princess J, the equally great QT, the Fairfree of all Fairfrees, and I want to thank, of course, the shorts. I want to thank the shorts. I want to thank the borrowers. I want to thank Citadel. I'd like to thank Seth Rogen. I'd like to thank Hindenburg. I want to thank Jim Chanos. I want to thank Muddy Waters. I want to thank Carson Wells. I want to thank Anton Chgoury. Of course, I would like to thank again the greatest Princess J, and the rest of you. Thank you so much. It's been one of the honors of my life entertaining you useless sons of bitches today. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. Keep it safe. Keep it sane. Make good decisions, guys. Appreciate it. Un poco más. Un poco más. Peace. I'm out. See you later, not a lurker. Bye, Chris. Bye, Steve. Bye, Payush. Bye, Dude Ass Face. Bye, everyone. I like whispering and showcasing my receding hairline. Cornbread out. I'm moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure.